isn't good, please let me know early, ahead of time. I'm going to make a logical guess that my mic is good, that the audio is working, that you guys can hear me. We'll wait on Venom to come because I don't want to go too far into the game and then my audio isn't working. I want to make sure that the camera is precise. Not only is the camera, but my audio quality. I want to make sure that's precise as well. Both. We'll go ahead and wait for Venom to join. He should be joining. Wait, Venom, is the audio good? Before I start, make sure the audio is good. That was not Venom. That probably was not Venom at all. I was just a way, Loki, if you could check if, before you go live, like if your audio is working. We're just gonna have to go with it. Go with the flow. Anyway, we have two topics. First one, how to start content creation in 2026. And second, why you shouldn't confuse motion with progress. Now, in the last live, if you guys didn't watch it, we talked about the longevity mindset and love. And we also talked about why you must love yourself first in order to love others. That was on the 14th. Also, guys, if you guys ever miss a live, ever miss a stream, ever miss a time where I'm giving game or wisdom, I make every single one of my lives public so you guys can always go back and watch it. Always. Now for the first topic, how to start content creation in 2026. Guys, let me explain something first. We are in a pivotal season. We are in a time now that you can literally make videos about fans, about the newest phones, the newest gadgets, about a watch, about hoodies, about notebooks, and get views. There is someone out there who will watch that stuff. Now, others might think it's boring. Others might think it's corny. However, there's someone out there who would want to watch that. There's someone out there. So how to start content creation in 2026? Pick a niche, then stick with that niche. Then after you go with that niche, if you do want to branch into more topics or to more subjects when it comes to your content creation, you want to do it slowly. You don't want to instantly change from basketball content to then gaming content. You don't want to do that. You want to bridge your way in slowly. For example, so you guys can have better context. And what's up, Venom? For more context, when I first started my content, I started with freeform dreads, right? I started with my hair. Started talking about how to grow it, how to protect it at night, how to use rubber bands, etc., etc. Then I started slowly branding into talking more about life, talking about masculinity, talking about how to grow up and become one of the best versions of yourself. What's good, Blake? However, what I did is instead of betraying the whole freeform dread community in the videos, I bridged masculinity and life with freeform. So I said, this is what freeform dreads teach you. Freeform dreads will teach you patience. That's how I bridged it. So I went into more of a broader lane, but I did it at a slow pace so that the audience wouldn't get confused on what type of content I'm doing. And this is what you guys need to do also when you're first starting content. And what's up, Sub-Zero? What's good? What's good? Yeah, guys. And really be consistent. There really isn't too much to the content creation game, especially when it comes to the start of it, because all it takes is for you to be consistent. Guys, I also want you to realize that consistency always beats intensity. You don't need to do 10-hour days. 5 structured days and you posting for 10 minutes is better than you going one day for 10 hours. It is absolutely way better to have consistency as opposed to intensity. That's really it to start content creation. And you need a phone. You need good lighting, all the basic stuff. There's no special magic trick as to how to start and be consistent. You have to decide every day, or you have to create a system to where you're going to make content regardless of how you feel. It's not going to be glamorous. It's going to be repetitive. It's going to be boring. And once you sign that contract and you understand what comes with it, you'll go, okay. I know it's going to come out of this if I stay consistent, if I understand the game, if I look at the analytics. YouTube Studio, you need to be downloading as well if you're starting content. Now, you don't need to overly hyper analyze your analytics at the start. Give you posting your content 30 to 60 days. Once you give it 30 to 60 days, that's when you could check your analytics, because you'll have more than enough content to see what's going right, what's going wrong, and what you can improve, even if it's something as subtle as a hook. It's very important. Even the thumbnail is important. However, you want to make sure that if your thumbnail is important, or if your thumbnail is good, that the actual video has some form of depth into it. It's because people will click on your video if you have a good thumbnail. However, if the video is trash, if you don't know how to speak, if you don't know how to do the content that you are portraying on the thumbnail, then many people aren't going to watch. So you have to make sure that you have the depth also. It's very important. Also, when you're starting your content creation, understand you need two things. You need attention and you need depth. I like your content. Appreciate it, Camden. But yeah, you guys need attention and you need some form of depth. You need some form of skill. You could even say iShowSpeed to some degree has some type of skill when it comes to content. You need to have both, because if you have a skill without attention, you are invisible. Nobody knows that skill even exists. Nobody knows that you can even do it well. However, if you have attention without having, to a degree, some form of skill, well, then now it's just noise, because you're not bringing anything valuable to the table. Now, if we want to get more nuanced about it, it depends on what type of content you're making in the first place. However, you'll eventually find your niche, and you'll find what you are good at or what you want to do once you've actually been consistent with content creation. And I recommend you start now. It's already the new year. New Year's passed, Valentine's passed. Start now if you want to start content. There's no such thing as a perfect time. You're going to learn as you go, and that's the best thing to do. You need to experiment when you're starting this content. What's good, Austin? You need to try all types of different forms of content. Try anything you can think of. It's like you throwing spaghetti at the wall. Keep on throwing it until it sticks. Keep on trying content. If you genuinely want content to change your life, then you have to treat it as such. You have to treat it as, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. This is not a side hustle. This is something that I actually want to do. And you have to execute, and you must assess. Content creation is going to be hard. There's so many people doing content that you have to find a way to stand out. It's going to be impossible to start your channel and to amass over 100,000 views without you standing out, because there's so much competition in this YouTube pool. Everyone wants to be a streamer. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber, but not everyone is willing to put in the work, because it's hard. It's boring. It's mundane. There's no glow. The glow is at the end, or near the end, near your breakthrough moment in YouTube. It's not in the beginning. It's not in the middle. It takes all that hard work behind the scenes until it's shown out to the world, to the atmosphere. Yeah, that's pretty much it of how you start content creation in 2026. It's not that hard. You don't need that many things. I would recommend, these are the slight few things that you need. I would recommend, if you can, obviously have a phone. You need to have something to record with. If you can't record, well, you're not going to be able to make content. So have something to record on. 2, you want to have some form of mic. Have a mic. It could be something as this, a wired mic. It could be a wireless mic, whatever. Have you a mic so that your audio quality can be crisp. Guys, if you notice how you'll watch a video and If the audio is bad, 9 times out of 10, you will comment, hey, the audio was bad at this part. Hey, you need to fix your audio. Audio is very important. If someone cannot hear you, they will click off the video no matter how good your video is. You need to make sure your audio is good and your visual qualities are at least decent. Third, I would recommend, yeah, the video is probably boring without it. Yeah, exactly. Even if there's a good video, it's like you're gonna want to hear the audio. Like, you're gonna be like, nah, where's the audio? You need audio, so you have to make sure it's up there. Also, third, I would recommend a ring light, because when I was first making content, I noticed how when I would open my window, the lighting would be like half dark and I wasn't as visible in the camera. Therefore, investing in a ring light, if you can, will be good. Honestly, that's all you need to start. If we're talking about cheap, on a budget, and you can get a few things, I would recommend that. That's it. You need something to record on. You need a mic. You need a ring light. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to start. It's to potentially change the trajectory of your life. You have to be consistent. You have to put in the reps. It needs to be boring. It needs to be mundane. You need to accept it. And you need to be consistent. All right, going on to topic number 2, why you shouldn't confuse motion with progress. Guys, many people confuse motion with progress because we live in this hustle culture now, to where they say, oh, hustle, grind, have some motion, have some motion. However, if you want to be a doctor, right, and you're searching up 10 hours a day how to fix cars, well, you have quote unquote motion, but it's all scattered. It's not leading you in the right direction. You must make sure that when you are saving money, when you are spending money, when you are doing something that you want to do, you have a reason why. And that reason must align with your goal, because if it doesn't, it is scattered motion. Scattered motion is not directional motion. When you're scattered, you're all over the place. You're just doing things for no reason. And doing things for no reason doesn't help either. There needs to be a reason why you want to do this YouTube. Make sure it aligns with your goal or your aspiration. Something has to align so that you can have directional motion. Just because you are moving does not mean you are progressing. A hamster that is on a hamster wheel that keeps on running like this isn't going anywhere. It can think it's going somewhere because it's moving. It's moving. It's moving. The wheel's spinning. It's spinning. But it's in the same spot over and over again. It's in the same exact spot. But it thinks it's confusing the progress, the motion as progress. So make sure you guys do not confuse that, because a lot of people will confuse it and then you'll wonder why you don't have results. It must be directional. It must align with what you want to do. So make sure when you guys have goals, aspirations, plans, events, that it aligns with what you genuinely want to do. Facts, man. Yeah, guys. Make sure you guys stay hydrated as well. For an example also, right? Let's say I wanted to become a lawyer. If throughout my days, and mind you, I want to become a lawyer. What am I drinking? We got this lemonade, sprinkling water, but I got this liquid enhancer. So that's why it's now lemonade. It's actually pretty good. Going back to why you shouldn't confuse motion with progress. Let's say I wanted to become a lawyer. Doesn't look like lemonade? Oh yeah, no, it is. It is. Yeah. What do you mean it doesn't look like lemonade? It's clearly lemonade. You know why? It's probably, the color literally looks like lemonade, but Yeah, if I wanted to become a lawyer, but throughout my routine through the week, I'm studying basketball, well, I am moving, correct? Yeah, I'm moving, but it's in the wrong direction. If I was to drive to Wendy's and I'm driving and it says turn right to get your destination, but I turn left as opposed to right, or I keep on going straight, I'm moving, but I'm not progressing. I'm never going to get to the restaurant. I'm never going to get to the spot. Not because I'm not moving, but because I'm moving in the wrong direction. So, guys, once again, make sure you have directional progress. It has to align with what is going on. Sure, it is. It's literally lemonade. What are you even talking about? Oh, yeah, guys. Also, I'm going to watch this later. There's a Clavicular and Piers Morgan live. So I recommend you guys watch that. I'll definitely be watching that, seeing how that goes. It's crazy. Clavicular came out of the scene. He came out of nowhere. I'm like, who is Clavicular? I just heard he's like looks maxing type of guy, and yeah. Oh, guys, also if you didn't see, so apparently after they played the banned Kanye West song in the club, obviously Sneeko got banned from Miami, got banned from the clubs and stuff, and after that, Fresh was talking mess because people were putting the blame on him because, apparently he's the one who actually requested the song to even play. It's funny because someone in the comments said, of course, Fresh's dumb behind decided to play the song. But goodness gracious. When he went on a podcast, he was saying, like, he hopes bad things happen to Sneeko, and when he sees Sneeko, that it's up. So what happened was Sneeko was on live with this other person. I don't know. This literally just happened. Like probably like a few hours ago. Sneeko actually sees Fresh in person. So mind you, Fresh online is like, like when he sees Sneeko, what's up? Bro, tell me why the second Fresh sees Sneeko, he's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you can't be talking mess. And then when you actually see him, you're like, hey, like, what are you doing? And then I don't know if this was Fresh's security guard or someone, but he had someone else get up for him. Sneeko was actually standing on business, but Fresh wanted to be, oh, hey, nah. You have to match energy. Dude, just be talking. I know, like, what is Fresh even doing? It's insane. It's like, to me, this is how I feel about the whole event. It's like hanging around with those type of people. What do you expect to happen? Plus, it's like they already had a warning of what was going on anyway because y'all already played the song in the van. So if you already played the song in the van, you don't think someone's going to request it in the club? Like, come on, bro. You already played it in the van. Of course, it was Myron who did it. Like, Myron, he's always trying to get clicks and stuff. Myron will literally say he's not trying to get clicks, but then every time, or not every time, but most of the time when he's doing these college tours and stuff, he'd be like, I need someone who can disagree because he needs the controversy. If everyone's saying, oh, I agree, like that clip ain't really going to go viral. Then take, for example, a black woman getting mad at Myron, trying to fight him. That's the clips Myron wants. Because for some reason, drama goes viral. That's why Myron wants it so bad. I look at it and it's sad because a lot of men are lost. They don't know who they are. They don't know who to look up to. So when they see people who look like they know what they're talking about or they look the part, they instantly follow. The other thing is Myron says some things that are true, but then he says some stuff that is just way out of the line at the same time. And dudes, due to their lack of experiences of life, which is understandable, don't know the difference between, okay, this is right, and then no, this ain't really it. For example, the woman topic. A lot of men don't know how it's like dealing with women. So if you just gonna agree with Myron 100% of it, it's like you gonna be confused. You don't know. You have to go experience these things yourself. Like, you can have all the knowledge in the world, you can hear it, but if you're not gonna actually go out into the real world and try these things, try to communicate with women, try to communicate with people in general, then you're never gonna learn. You have to mess up. It's okay if you feel embarrassed. It's okay. These are training reps. Think of it, if you got embarrassed, okay, cool, this is just a training rep. Training rep. You're gonna get better as it goes if you keep going. If you never try it, well, then it'll be all in your head. It'll be all in your imagination. And imaginations don't get anywhere until action is put forward. Also, when it comes to communication, I will recommend that you definitely learn how to speak, because once you learn how to speak, once you know how to say your ideas in your head and you know how to speak them and articulate them in a way that is convincing and that is interesting, you'll be surprised of how far you can come in life. You'll actually be surprised. It's like everything becomes easier. Interviews, talking to people in general, starting up a convo, knowing how to end a convo. Learning all these things when it comes to communication is very important, because communication is the baseline. We talk almost, if not every single day. Therefore, why shouldn't we master this domain? We might as well master it, because once you master speaking, everything else becomes easy. You'll sound more convincing. You'll sound like you know what you're talking about. It takes reps. A lot of people don't want to put in the reps because it's embarrassing at first, which it's supposed to be embarrassing. You're supposed to not know how to articulate yourself at first. You're supposed to sound sloppy. You're supposed to sound cringe. You're supposed to sound embarrassing. These are all the reps forming. When you first make content, you're going to feel very stiff. You're going to feel embarrassed. You're not even going to want to make content. However, many people don't start, not because they can't, but because fear. You have to let go of that fear, or try your very best to. Once you can finally let go of that fear of judgment or that fear of doing it, and once you're in the arena, when you are finally in the arena, and if you stick to it every single day or every single week, whatever your schedule is, you will eventually get better. And then it'll come to the point where it's natural. You only get to that point where anything becomes natural, if it needs to be trained or practiced upon, is if you do the reps. There is no avoiding the reps. I understand that people can think that there's some secret pill or there's some magic. There's no magic. There's no course that you're going to buy that's going to teach you how to do these things. You have to go out in the world and experience these things for yourself, or you have to practice yourself. You have to be consistent. You have to do the repetitive work every single day. There's no other way around it. There's no magic 8-ball you can get and shake it and be like, oh, please have this be upon me. Like, no, that's not how the world works. You can't be passive. You must believe and you must put in work. Those two things, believing you can do it and putting in the action, fuse those two, you're good. And this goes back to my second point on why you shouldn't confuse motion with progress. You do want to be taking action, but it needs to be directly and deliberately correlated and aligned with what your goal is or with what you want to do in your life. It has to be aligned. You must have directional progress, directional motion. A bonus for you guys, you guys can also set small goals as well. Daily goals. It could be something as small as going for a walk every day. Focusing on your mental. Mental is very important. Many people are laughing at Kai Cenat because of his mental health, but it's very important to have good mental health. This is because most of the time when you're sad, when you're depressed, it's mostly coming from your mental. So I don't find any of that funny, because you need to make sure that your mental health is in a good state. It needs to be good. If your mental isn't good, you'll probably be in bed all day. You won't even want to move physically if your mental isn't good. So it's very crucial and vital that you take care of it. Notice the triggers of what makes you mad or depressed and try to find a way to fix it. Your mental, to a degree, will determine if you physically move or not, to some degree. And if you're happy, you're in a good mood, you're ready to make up your bed, you're ready to do these things. But if you're depressed, it's like 9 times out of 10, like, you're just going to want to stay in the bed. By the way, depression is real. Depression is real. It's definitely real. We have to make sure that you're taking care of your mind, your body, taking care of the habits that you're even doing, making sure that if there's bad habits, that you try to minimize those bad habits the best way you can. I know it takes time. Everything good takes time. We've heard that plenty of times. However, sometimes you don't want to wait, and that's completely understandable. Yeah, sadly, I know. Sadly. I tweeted this earlier. I said, you should focus on transformation, not perfection. If you try to be perfect, then when you fail or if you stumble, you'll probably feel ashamed of yourself. However, if you work on progressing and pushing forward and moving forward, then if you do fall, you'll say, even though I messed up here or I did this, at least I'm still progressing. That's a far better mindset than trying to be perfect, guys. Nobody is perfect. You gonna make it far? Appreciate it, bro. Would have seen it, but I don't have Twitter. Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to, yeah, download Twitter. So I tweet every single day, Monday through Sunday. You're gonna go far in life. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Just giving out game, stating how life is. You have to understand that you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to keep going in life. And yeah, nobody's perfect. The best thing to do is to understand that you can transform your life no matter where you're at. It all starts with mindset. And mindset is something that can be improved today. Doesn't take any money, doesn't take any influence, doesn't take any power whatsoever. If you decide that you want to change, you can make that change. This is the beauty about life. You can decide to change. You don't have to stay the person, the boy or the girl or the man or the woman that you currently are. You can change. It takes discipline, yes. It takes time, absolutely. It takes consistency, most definitely. However, you can do it. And each and every single person on this planet can do it. It's not impossible. It just takes time. We're in a time now where we can create our own opportunities. It is such a blessing that we're able to create our own opportunities. You know how many people are successful because of the internet, because they took the opportunity to just post? Like, imagine if it wasn't for the internet. I wouldn't even be able to reach as much people. Many people on the internet wouldn't be able to reach as much people. The internet's perfect when it comes to this because you can reach millions of people. You can reach people in Persia, Asia, Europe, the UK, different countries, Australia. And you can inspire people, you can motivate people, you can make people laugh. And even if a video is just stupid or it's funny, that video could have literally prevented someone from committing suicide. You never know what people are going through. There's a lot of people out in this world where they don't look like they're going through something, but deep down internally, they are. And you want to make sure that you practice being nice to people and being kind to people to the best of your abilities, because maybe if you made that person laugh, maybe that person would have literally gone home and said, you know what, instead of pulling the trigger, they're going to make food just because you made them laugh. Just because you were nice to them as opposed to being mean. You never know what people are going through. I saw this on TikTok. I saw a picture, and it was a person in the middle being he was in a traffic jam, right? And it's like he wanted to get mad at the other people, and then it showed all these other people around him. So it showed all the other cars with people in it, and it was saying, this person is depressed. This person lost their dog. This person lost their parents. This person is going through a divorce. This person just lost his grandmother. And the point of that TikTok was this. You never know what people are going through. So instead of talking about them, instead of judging them, try to understand them first. Try to be kind, because it could have been that one mean comment that made them end it all. Which goes back to the point where I say mental. Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. If you guys need therapy, absolutely go to therapy. If you feel that it's not going to help you, you don't have to go. We all have our own different outlets and how we can do this. Maybe for someone's mental to get better, maybe all they need to do is walk. Some people need therapy. Some people might need to walk. Some people might want to box. Some people might want to play basketball. Whatever works best for you, do that, because mental is very important. Especially if you want to get your day started, you want to be active, you want to be energized, you want to feel good for the day. Well, then mental is very important. That's why so many people talk about it. You notice how in Q&As and I'm gonna make a video about this, on Q&As, why so many people, one of the first questions is, how is your mental health? I don't think people even understand why people ask that. It's because mental health is that important that 9 times out of 10, if your mental isn't good, you're not even going to be consistent in making videos. Which is why people ask this question so much. It's crucial. Yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and end here. Unless you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. Well, we'll go ahead and end it off with this. It's now 2026. 2027 is going to be here before you know it. Time is going to keep on moving regardless if you do something or not. The best thing to do is to start now, even if it's as small as walking or getting daily exercise in. You could change your life. It's going to be hard, and understand that you can transform. Transformation is greater than perfection. We're going to go ahead and end it right there. Make sure you guys, you want to ask a question, but I don't know if I have one. All right. Well, what is the subject of your question? Depends. But if you don't know the subject, then it's fine. Jesus, what's the question? Or what is the question pertaining to? Now, see if I can give a response really quickly. Thank you for your inspiring words. No problem, man. Actually, no. What do you think about presence and impact? Very good question. What do I think about when it comes to presence and impact? Presence is very important because once you've built presence, you don't have to necessarily say what you're about for people to know what you're about. Many people think that you have to constantly say you're this, you're that, so that it sticks in the people's heads that you're this or you're that. However, your behavior, your presence, your consistency, your repetition of acting the same on a long enough time frame will confirm way more than what any type of chatter could have ever done. That is the impact of having presence, to where you don't even have to say anything. Your presence communicates what you're about before you even say a word. but it must be practiced. Presence is a skill. You must practice this stuff. You must practice not always craving external validation. You must practice not being needy. You want to actually know what's crazy? When you try to start sales and you're needy, people can tell when you're needy. People can tell when you need the money. When you need the money, they don't like that type of energy. Customers don't like that type of energy because 9 times out of 10, if you're desperate, you're either limited on options or you don't have any options at all. However, when you can sit there calm and let's say you're on a sales call and say that you're selling, let's say, these drinks, and the person that you're on the phone with says, man, I don't know. And you say, that's fine. If you ever change your mind, let me know at a later date. Have a good one. You end the call. You didn't come off as desperate. You came off as a person who doesn't trip if this offer goes to you or not, because you have options. When you have options, you don't have to worry about being desperate. Options opens up so much stuff. You can actually see things more clearly. Once you have options, it opens so much more things because now you're not desperate. Which can tie into presence and impact, because people will say, this person's calm, he's steady, he doesn't need the deal. And what's crazy is that they want to more work with you. Not because you're different, but because your presence, without you even having to speak, communicates that this guy is not needy. This guy's calm. This guy knows what he's doing. That's the game. But yeah, guys, we're going to go in and end. Good question, Venom. Good question. We're going to go ahead and end right here. Make sure you guys stay blessed, stay focused, and keep on improving in life. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.